Hey, everyone. I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you have had a wonderful week. Let me know in the chat where you are tuning in from today. I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. I had to think about where I live, y'all. Okay, I reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Mm, And if you're new to Mental Health Moment, we're here live every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, hopefully with no technical issues. If you're here every single Tuesday, welcome back. And thanks so much again for joining here. For those of you who are brand new to Mental Health Moment is all about how do you work on becoming the best version of who you are so you can show up powerfully for yourself and for the people around you. So today's Mental Health Moment, well, before I start, I did want to give you a couple of announcements, and of course, give you some tips, especially for those of you who are new, first time, welcome. For those of you who are new, I'm Dr. Nekeshia Hammond, psychologist, author, speaker. I have been on Mental Health Moment now. I want to say it was 2017. I kind of lost track of time a little bit, but it's been a minute. It's been a long time. But I'm honored and happy to be here with each and every one of you. And let me know in the comments where you are tuning in from today, now that I can actually see my comments, if you haven't already told me. Um, okay, let me go to a couple quick announcements and then I want to start today's mental health moment. So, for those of you who are in the New York area or plan to be in the New York area next week, I will be there at an author event in New York City on Friday, June 13th. It starts at 6 p.m. You can get more information about that. You do have to register in advance. It's drnekeshiahammond.com/events. When you go on there, you'll see it says Author Showcase Event, New York City, Friday, June 13th. I'll be signing my one of my latest books, Mindset Training, Conquer Your Mind, and the Rest Will Follow, which is I love that book. It's my favorite book that I've written. But it is the USA Today bestseller book that I published last year that some of you know about. So I'll be there signing those books. I'll be at that event. There'll also be other amazing authors there as well. So again, if you're in the New York area, it's June 13th at 6 p.m. New York City. And that information to sign up is at drnekeshiahammond.com/events. So that's one event. There's possibly another event in Phoenix, but let me get confirmation on that. And I will definitely let you guys know as soon as I get confirmation on that. Friday, October 24th. Many of you all already know about the event that I'll be hosting. Actually, well, my first event in person. So last year I did the Growth Mindset and Self Care Summit. It was the first year. It was virtual. Some of you attended virtually. And this year it's going to be in person in Atlanta on Friday, October 24th. The tickets are finally available for purchase. It's at mindsettrainingsummit.com. And actually, I'll put it in the chat, which for some reason my chat never works in LinkedIn for some reason. So I apologize for that. But it's mindsettrainingsummit.com is where you can go to get the information about that. The tickets right now, they are on early bird special. You save $200. It's on early bird special until September 1st. And then after that, it goes up. So do not say I didn't tell you in advance. And it is an all-day event, breakfast, lunch, and networking. And I'm really excited to be hosting it. It's going to be amazing. Really great speakers, panels, self-care activities. We're going to have some fun and learn. So I feel like I'm missing an announcement for you all, but I think those are my two major announcements for today for you all. So again, mindsettrainingsummit.com for that one on Friday, October 24th in Atlanta. And then, of course, next week in New York City for the book signing event. So, and thanks again for those who are starting to join here. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. So today's mental health moment, I did want to talk to you about toxic positivity. Because one of the questions I get often as a psychologist is, or comment that I get sometimes is like, what if there's this sort of notion that like, is it just okay to like just be positive all the time and everything will be fine type of thing? Because we have a lot of positivity and I do preach a lot of positivity for those of you who are not new to mental health moment, as you know. Um, a lot of positivity on mental health moment because I think positivity is important in our lives. Let us know when you're in Texas. I absolutely will. It's funny you asked that because was it? I don't think it was last year, maybe the year before last. I was constantly in Texas for some reason. I never know. It's just weird. Different years where I end up speaking. But there was a time I was in Texas so often. This year I think it's going to be Atlanta for some reason often. But nonetheless, but one of the things that's important to think about when we think about this idea of positivity is yes, hopefully you're in a space where you can find things that are uplifting to you, things that are motivational to you, things that keep you going because life is hard and just throws us a lot of curveballs. However, at the same time, it's really important that you are feeling your feelings and not being judgmental. So a lot of what I preach on mental health moment, as some of you know, is and it's hard. I know it's hard. But to work on not being in the self-blame game as much because it's easy for us to get in that negative self-talk, to get into the self-blame, for us to start judging ourselves, right? Or glossing over our feelings like it's fine, everything's going to be great, right? And I pause because as an optimist myself, like, yes, please tell yourself positive things like you will be able to get through and it will be okay. And though at the same time, work on feeling your feelings, whatever that may be. If it's the sadness, if it's the nervousness, if it's the grief or whatever it is that you're going through right now, even if it's the happiness, like because sometimes we block ourselves and we have some self-sabotage habits, right? And we block happiness and block our blessings, I say accidentally. So whatever the emotions are, the happiness, the sadness, the nervousness, the fear, whatever it is, claim that, right? And work on moving through it. So one of the things again as I mentioned is to work on feeling your feelings, which is hard when they're painful feelings, right? Like I mean, who wants to feel sad or who wants to feel really nervous or who wants to feel grief? Like it's hard, right? It's hard to do that, but it's also important to recognize those things, to work through processing through those emotions, which maybe you can do on your own and you have your good self-care and you have your plan of action. Or as I always say, it's okay if you have to reach out to someone else to help you through that. If it's a friend, family member, a therapist, a coach, whomever, right? But working on feeling the feelings and without judgment and working on getting through it. Um, the other thing is that when other people go, oh man, I could this is a whole nother mental health moment, but I'm just gonna give it as a second tip for today out of the 3 tips today. The other thing is to make sure that you are working on staying if someone else is going through something, right? Like, yes, to be like, oh, stay positive. Yes, those are important things, but also recognize that other people feel things, different emotions in a different way than you sometimes, right? So I know some individuals, even when it comes to grief, right? We all grieve in different ways. So to say to someone like, oh, it's okay, like just be positive when they're really down and out, let's say, with their grief or whatever type of feelings that they're experiencing is really hard if we don't also have empathy for them, right? So the other thing is when it comes to this idea of what I call toxic positivity is also thinking about how do you show up with empathy, right? How do you understand that the people in front of you don't necessarily have the same emotional regulation or the same reactions that you do in the same exact circumstances, right? That's what makes us unique because I mean, you could experience something in the same exact thing, the same exact situation in a totally different way than someone else, right? And so the third thing I want to share with you, the third thing I want to, if I could get, I want to share with you today also is that remember that whether you're doing it to yourself or whether someone is sort of putting their thoughts on you, if you will, when it comes to positivity, it really shouldn't feel forced, right? Like, don't. I hate when someone's like, "Oh, just be positive about it." And it's like an extremely stressful situation that it's not really a light switch where you can just automatically just think positive in that situation just because of a positive outcome, right? Like that's not how it works. So instead, what you can think about doing is yes, please have your whatever your positivity looks like. If for you, one of the things I've actually I would say in the past year, I've started doing more of like affirmations, for example, right? So affirmations meaning like things that you're telling yourself, maybe you write it down, maybe you're repeating it to yourself to try to train your brain to think differently than how you currently think, whether it comes to self-love, whether it comes to wealth, whether it comes to about your health, your self-esteem, whatever. Like there's a ton of different types of affirmations, but again, it shouldn't be something that's forced upon you. This should be something that you want to do. So if you Yep. So if you say, "You know what? Oh my gosh, I have no desire to ever do affirmations," then don't, right? Because it really shouldn't be something that's forced on you. But think about for you, what is it that gets you into a state of positivity? Because we're all just not the same, right? I could say, "Man, if I did a yoga class, that would get me into a state of positivity. That would get my body and mind calm." And you might be like, "Dr. Hammond, I never want to do yoga in my life." Right? Which is all good. There's a lot of things actually that make me happy, that bring me joy, that you may be like, "Nope, that's not for me." All good. So again, positivity should not be forced upon you. I do though think that you should consider I love when people are posting online or even you guys share in the chat sometimes like different things you do for your self-care, different things you do to bring you into a positive mood. Because sometimes we just need someone else to say, "Oh, I tried, this particular thing." You're like, "Oh, I want to try that too." Right? So I do think you should be open to doing certain things, but at the same time, at the end of the day, you know what brings you joy, right? When I mean, people I know at the gym love to ride the bike. Like that's their thing. They love it. I don't. That does not bring me joy riding a bike. I'd rather go running. And people are like, running, I hate running, right? So it's just what is it that brings you joy? What is it that brings you into a state of positivity and not allowing it to be forced upon you, right? Let it be more natural. But nonetheless, so again, as I wrap up today, I want you to remember a couple of things that when you see be positive and that sort of thing, it's a good thing, of course. But again, remembering to also not, number one, not gloss over your feelings. Extremely important for us to be feeling our feelings, even though sometimes it's hard, right? We have hard emotions that we have to deal with. But the good news is, I think, is you can work on building up resilience. You can work on building up that mental armor that I've talked about on mental health moment. And you can work on making yourself mentally stronger. Like that's a thing, right? To really work on that. When you start to work on feeling the emotions, making sure not to blame yourself and reaching out to someone else. Again, if you need to reach out to your friend, your neighbor, your coworker, your brother, sister, your therapist, whomever, you're allowed to do that too. Right. So make sure you really think about that. And again, continue though to surround yourself with good people, with good experiences, things that bring you joy, things that help you in your self-care journey and your healing journey. That's really important too. So thanks again for joining you all today. If you came in a little bit later, just as just an announcement one more time, drnekeshiahammond.com/events is where you can always get information of like upcoming events that's open to the public that I can share with you all if you want to attend. I will be in New York Friday, June 13th, 6 p.m. There's an author event that I'll be at signing mindset training, my first mindset training book. So I'll be there for that. Super excited about that, as well as some other amazing authors. And then on Friday, October 24th, I'll be hosting my event in Atlanta, and you can get that information at mindsettrainingsummit.com. And I'll also be posting it this upcoming week. You guys are the first to hear that the tickets are available, but I'll also be posting it this upcoming week. If you follow me on Dr. Nekeshia Hammond, it'll be on all the platforms, just more information about the summit, which is an all-day summit in Atlanta. So I hope to see you at one of those two events. I believe there might be something in Phoenix as well, but as soon as I get that confirmation, I will let you all know. Have an amazing week, you all. Be sure again to think about for you, how do you work on not having the quote unquote toxic positivity and instead the positivity that allows you to thrive, not just survive, allow you to really get through this thing called life, right? And to help you in your mental health journey and your wellness journey. So I will be back. Be blessed. Have an amazing week. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye, you guys.